and welcome to Ljubljana, and specifically to the Ibis Styles, and even more specifically than that, the Ibis Styles Fuzzy Log Capsule Hotel. There's about 5 or 6 floors below us of ordinary Ibis hotel rooms, but on this top 7th floor is what they've deemed the Fuzzy Log, which is where you can actually sleep in either a cabin or in fact a full-on capsule, though I can't actually show you that because they're behind a card-controlled door. So yeah, you walk in through reception and then along some corridors and you find your cabin, and through the door what do you find? Well, just about everything you need really. A very comfortable double bed, I slept very well. There's lighting controls, power supplies, a tiny little seat to sit on, somewhere to hang your clothes. Actually there's a little table that folds down if you need. And then outside there's some communal toilets and showers, and as I was up really early I've just had a really nice shower, in a very nice shower I have to say, in one of the private shower rooms, and so that was a great start to the day. So the time is now 6:15 and I'm booked in for breakfast, and they start serving at about 6:30. So I thought today would be a slightly different thing. We've had a look round the Fuzzy Log here, and as I've got a sort of non-travelling day, I thought maybe we should have a closer look at Ljubljana, and so yeah, that's the plan. Obviously we're going to have to see how it goes, but that's the plan. So if you want to come along for this one, it's not really quite a train trip, but something a bit different because I'm here in Ljubljana and I do love it. Right, so we're out now. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning in Ljubljana, and it's not a busy, bustling city, especially at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. But I think we can tick that as being a good thing. So in the next hour, let's have a little wander around the city before it wakes up properly, and maybe get some shots of some of the tourist spots without loads of tourists there. Except me, of course. Well, Ljubljana is most definitely a city of bridges. And we start off at the Jubilee Bridge of the Emperor Franz Josef, which of course everybody calls the Dragon Bridge. The Ljubljanica is a tributary of the Sava, and now the smallness of this man-made channel gives the city much of its lovely charm. There's lots of cafes here on the left bank, and also the love-locked Butcher's Bridge that leads into the market. But it isn't the love locks that catch my eye, rather it's the slightly disturbing artworks of Yakov Burdar. Indeed, the works seem to have spread from the bridge, probably to the delight of many passing children. And the next bridge, well, it's actually 3 bridges. The original central bridge was built in 1842, and then the 2 footbridges either side were added by famous Slovenian architect Jože Plečnik in 1932. Remember that name, he pops up quite a lot. Let's continue along the left bank to yet another modern and glassy bridge, the Fish Bridge, where there's great views up and down the waterway. This tree-lined waterway certainly makes everything very pretty, and most importantly, an awful lot cooler in the summer. Soon these tables will be bustling with drinkers and diners. Now the Cobbler's Bridge is on a site where there's been a bridge since at least the 13th century. It is once again the design of architect Jože Plečnik. As we walk down to this little square, there's a chance to enjoy some more of Ljubljana's dragons. And then we finally come upon a statue of erstwhile mayor Ivan Hribar. Now, the reason he's revered in these parts is at the age of 89, in 1941, he was sent to a meeting with the conquering fascists where they offered him the role of mayor. Instead of accepting it, he chose to commit suicide by jumping into the river right at this spot, wrapped in a Yugoslav flag. Right, so walking up from the river, I just want to come up here and have a look at the library building, and no doubt voiceover man will now embark upon telling you why this is a remarkable building. During the 1930s, this city was transformed primarily by the work of Plečnik, and it is this building that many regard as his crowning glory. The combination of brick and stone with the protruding windows is not something that I've actually seen before, and the bronze-clad doors are absolutely wonderful. And on the eastern side we can see the statue of Moses over the doorway, and also the huge windows that provide light into the immense reading rooms within. And as we step over the road, I think this church is now a concert venue, as there appears to be a bar in the courtyard. Another feature of the city is that it has quite a lot of graffiti art. Now, of course, there are many designs, but it often features this fella. You get to see him quite a lot as you walk about. Now, there's always space for another bridge in this city, and here we are at St James Bridge. Now, this southern end is really a lot quieter. And we get down to the Hradec Bridge, which dates from 1867 and is the only remaining cast iron bridge in Slovenia. Mind you, those little stone spires at each end, they were added by, yeah, you guessed it, Jože Plečnik. Well, this really is a lovely end of town, but I'm going to now head on back up the right bank of the river. Oh, and look, here's our feline friend again. The cafes are still quiet, but things are beginning to start up as it's getting to be about 9:30 in the morning. And back at the Triple Bridge, here's the proof that the Central Bridge dates from 1842. Right, that was down by the river. I'm now going to go up here looking for a skyscraper. Nebotishnik, I believe is what it's called. And it's, well, when you think of skyscraper, you're probably thinking Empire State Building. It's not quite of that order, but yeah, I'm sure VoiceOver Man will give you some idea of why we're going. Why go to a skyscraper? And the reason we're going is because this wonderful Art Deco reinforced concrete skyscraper, dating from 1931, was, on completion, immediately the tallest building in Yugoslavia. Mind you, the Slovenian central bank next door looks pretty good too. However, the problem with the Nebotishnik is that it's not open yet. Right, so the skyscraper's not open until 12, and it's now 9:30, so time for a coffee. And we can also cross the Triple Bridge now to look at the curving lines of the Central Market. And yes, you guessed it, this curving, majestic structure is also the work of Jože Plečnik. The cafes here are opening up, but I think I'll walk the whole length of the market building and then recross the Dragon Bridge and take a seat by the river. Oh well, that didn't last long, did it? It was very nice though. Right, I've had a coffee, it's gone 11, it's suddenly very busy in town. What I'm going to do here is walk to the very end where I kind of think it's a bit like the town beach, but I suppose it's not a beach because it's all concrete, but you'll see what I mean. Following on from where we left off, and we come along to an area known as Spica, which is a great place to chill out on a warm Sunday in May. And it's the point where the river bifurcates, some of the water taking the northern route right through the centre, while some staying to the south and rejoining the northern section just a bit further along. Well, this is all well and lovely, but it's not a skyscraper, is it? Skyscraper next. Well, as I've been up for ages, I do hope they're serving food in the skyscraper. I surely am ready for lunch. Mind you, as we're going to be walking up the left bank now, we really should do a little detour into Congress Square. The square was laid out in the 1930s by Plečnik, and it is bordered by the Slovenian Philharmonic and the Church of the Holy Trinity. And there it is, majestically peeping up from all the buildings around it. The doors are open and the public lift has been started. But first, let's check out the marble-lined lobby and especially this mad spiral staircase. And when the lift takes us to the top, we can complete the climb to the very top of the staircase. Just don't look down, okay? Oh, too late. The cafe bar up here was reopened in 2010 and the decor is really sympathetic to the original design. But it's outside on the observation deck where I'm going to go, and I'm going to sit and drink in the views of the castle, the Tivoli gardens and the hills that stand all around the city. This truly is an unforgettable place to enjoy a beer or two. Right, I've eaten and I'm now ready to embark upon the final part of our journey today, which is a walk around the Tivoli Park. Now, to get into the park we have to duck under the railway and then we enter the formal gardens. So every city, certainly every capital city, has at least one park that you could view as being the lungs of the city, the place where the people in the city go on a day like today to get some air and to walk in the park. And here we are in Tivoli, and this is the park in Ljubljana. But yes, this is the main drag here as we enter into Tivoli, and then the whole hillside is made up of gardens and parks. So I'm looking forward to a nice walk around now and some fresh air and maybe a bit of sun and definitely a bit of shade. It's really warm in Slovenia today. I'll check in with you later. Although originally designed in the 19th century, Plešnik still had a hand in designing the promenade in the 20th. Crikey, this guy gets everywhere. Well, I'm not quite sure on the route, but a lot of people have seemed to come up here, and it's a rising path, and I think the Steve Marsh rule of YouTube is if you're not walking uphill then it's not good enough. So yeah, let's do an uphill slog. Sorry, an uphill walk. Nothing to see back there yet, but hopefully we'll get through these trees and then we'll get to look back on Ljubljana. Well, I'm already blowing a bit. Is that because I'm old or unfit, or is that because I had pizza and 2 pints of very strong beer before I started off? Who knew that that was a bad idea before you started a really long uphill climb? I'd have thought that would have been perfect, surely. What do you think, Colin? A couple of beers before you do a climb? I think that's a good idea. Maybe. By the way, as I'm only here for one day, I decided to investigate Tivoli rather than climb up to the castle, but I do recommend you visit the castle if you have the time. So I think I've walked up here, up the walkway and then around, and picked up the red route either that way or that way, whichever it was. And now I'm in this central area here where it's all worn out because people keep pointing. So I think I should go left because I think we're trying to get to Rožnik. Let's see if there's a sign for Rožnik. Looking down the hill here, it's getting busier, so I had a look on Google Maps and I'm about 10 minutes walk away from what could be a cafe bar, which would be very handy, especially if it has toilets. But not beer this time. I think it's a soft drink, something like that, or maybe even another coffee. I've got some water with me so I can keep hydrated, so maybe I just need a lift from maybe some sugar or caffeine, or maybe both. That's where we're aiming for. Tivoli is truly a delight. It already feels like I've left the city way behind in the distance. Right, I think we've made it to the church and maybe something to drink and the toilet. Let's see. What a great place this is to enjoy a cold drink looking out across the countryside. So I feel much better. I'm walking down a hill now, and also when I got to the cafe, the guy was selling cold coffee with vanilla ice cream in it. So basically that ticks all the boxes. A bit more sugar, a bit more caffeine. Feel like great now. Oh, and I also drank all my water. So here we go down the hill, and then we're going to find what we find.
And of course what we do find is the formal gardens, which includes conservatories and lots more people. Oh, and a nice little lake too. But my time in Ljubljana is drawing to a close. I'm going to enjoy an early tea back at the Fuzzy Log and then get myself an early night. So, as the sun sets behind the castle, I hope you've enjoyed this quick look around Ljubljana. And you can be sure I'll be back on the train for the next video.